Adam Gorney, Rivals.com, here with signing day coverage, continuing with new, old West Virginia coach Rich Rodriguez. Rich, like I just asked you off camera, what's it like being back there? What's new? What's old? It's been almost 2 decades now.
Yeah, I know it's kind of surreal. It doesn't happen that often to do this, but obviously the facilities are fantastic. It was always pretty good, but it's next level stuff now. Still know the area, of course, and I'm from here, so it's kind of been easy. A lot of times, the first year head coach, you got to kind of find out about the area and what makes it tick and the state and all that. But for me, it's home, so that made the transition a whole lot easier. Now I still got to learn our current team and still got to get caught up on what's happening new. And college football, as you know, has changed and almost weekly, it seems like. But it's been great. Love being back home. I got a great my first order of priority was getting a great staff together. And I think we did that. And now we're doing some things to get the roster ready for the fall.
I looked last night. You were 32-5 in your last 3 seasons there, which is an incredible run and obviously kind of catapulted you to other jobs. 2 10-win seasons since then. How do you kind of get that spark back? How do you kind of get that going again? And does it start with like what you've talked about already, just that toughness, that grittiness that West Virginia fans come to expect?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I always thought that, that this West Virginia was always kind of an underdog state. We kind of a lot of people kind of didn't look at us in a high kind of thought process, and so we kind of use that to our advantage when we played. And I think that's still the case here. I think it's a blue collar, hardworking state. People love Mountaineer football. They love West Virginia University. And we have a very passionate fan base, which I know all about, and that's terrific. But now we have to put the work in, and I still think I'm a little bit old school, I'm sure, but I still think culture matters, and people talk about it and use that buzzword, but they don't really adhere to it each and every day. I truly believe our success at some of the other places I've been, including at Jack State, my last school, is we won because we got really good players that wanted to be coached and wanted to be in the right culture. And we're going to coach our guys. I told our guys, I said, good players want to be coached, and we're going to coach them. And we're going to coach them hard, and we're going to do everything we can for them to have success and to enjoy the experience.
Being back, especially now, but even when you were gone, how much did you think of Granttown, West Virginia, sort of where you came from? And the coaches that have come from that state are just amazing. John McKay, Nick Saban, Jimbo Fisher, Lou Holtz, just some tough SOBs that, have been some of the best coaches in the game.
Yeah, and Nick grew up 10 minutes away from where I did. Jimbo was about 15 minutes away. And, football was always important in the region. A lot of the coal miners, my dad was a coal miner, my uncles, my brother was in the coal mines. And, Friday nights, they look forward to high school football. And I went down in the mines. I think I was in the 7th grade. My dad took me down, and I'm like, I don't think I want to do this. I better try something else. But I have so much respect for the people in the state of West Virginia. And again, it's still home. My mom is still living in Granttown, West Virginia. That used to be, I don't want to say, it used to be a pretty thriving little coal mining town with maybe 1,000 people. It might be 250 now. So a lot of the mines have shut down, but it's still the same type of mentality throughout the state. And I've always said this, Adam, I thought anybody can sit in the stands and they may not know the X's and O's, but they can tell if you're playing hard. They can see if you're playing with passion. I think a true fan can see that. And I tell our players, we owe it to them, we owe it to each other to at least put the effort out. If we don't execute well or the plays, bad play calls by the coaches, whatever, we'll fix that. But there's no excuse for not playing hard, and we will play hard.
How do you think you're better 17 years on? What will people see from you in terms of scheme or advancement that when they were sitting there 17 years ago? What will they see from you now that you've sort of advanced through the years?
Yeah, I've said that. It sounds like coach speak, but I can't be the same coach I was 17 years ago. And it's like having 17 years of experience repeated one time over and over again. I think I'm a better coach now than I was a year ago. I know I'm a better coach than I was 17 years ago, but I got to prove that. But I expect that out of all of our coaches and all of our players. I think sometimes coaches, they run this system, but they've never really studied to see how they can make it better. A lot of what we're doing is similar to what we did 17, 20, 30 years ago, but there's a lot that's new and different too, and more refined, and I think a little bit better. We still hold our hat onto our tempo and playing with 11 and, and using the quarterback in a lot of different ways. But, I still believe that you got to keep studying yourself, study other people, see what you can do better.
Last question here. And when guys come in first years, they talk about flipping the roster and those kinds of things. Portal heavy. I think he went about 30 in the portal, and Louis Vuitton has been talked about in other places. I don't know if they sell Louis Vuitton in West Virginia, but how much of that is bringing in some guys from Jacksonville State that you're comfortable with? I think Coach Cignetti did that at Indiana with some James Madison guys to his success, and just getting sort of a fresh start there. You've talked about, if you want to play hard, gritty football, you can stay, but if you don't, you're welcome to leave.
Yeah, and we lost. We had a lot of good seniors that finished playing, and there was a handful that got in the portal, which that's the sign of the times, I guess. But and we didn't have any kind of particular formula, as I told the staff. So many portal guys, so many JC guys, so many high school guys. I said, let's just get the best players we can get, guys that we think can win. We can win with, and that understand our culture. And so that's what we went out and did, and we did get close to 30 in the portal. We got another 7 signed today. We'll continue to do that. I think you're constantly, I think this day and age especially, you're constantly looking at your roster. We look at it every day, not just the recruiting time. We look at it every day and be prepared to bring the next guy in order to win games and then coach them up.
Coach, thanks so much. Good luck in Morgantown.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.